what are you contributing? Like, it's like, all right, like you can't be complaining like, oh, I cook, I clean every day. It's like, okay, but you don't work, you don't contribute to the house. So I just feel like it's like, and like sometimes people be like, oh, so this is like really controversial, right?
Go ahead.
I feel like it's very controversial when like be like, oh, I don't go 50-50, but it's like, all right. So if you and your man make the same amount of money, right? But only your man is the one that paying all the bills. How you ever gonna save up to like buy a house or buy a business? Because he's never gonna be able to afford to. So it's like certain things is like a joint thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a work together. But I just be feeling like sometimes people like the internet really be having people fucked up from like real reality type shit. So it's like all right. So your mom and dad used to work every single day, right? So your mom and dad used to work every single day, so your mom could save her money and buy persons, and your dad just pay all the bills. That's not how it works. It's either your mom was in the house cooking and cleaning every day, your dad was working, or they was both working to pay both the bills. Like y'all be acting like y'all don't know what the fuck that is like no more. Like, come on.
And your mom money was your dad money, and your dad money was your mom money.
Like, it was like that. It was like it's like that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not a feminist anymore because it's like, so this is what.
So that's Cardi B. Once upon a time, she said,
I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me tell you, I got this ring.
All right. She once said she don't cook or clean, but now she up here telling she's schooling y'all. Cardi said, let me stop lying to y'all.
And she said, somebody wrote a super chat and said it's a strange day when Cardi B is the voice of reason. That's the weirdest thing ever. I get it completely. I am one of those people that believe that you could do 50-50, you could do all of those things when you're trying to be in a relationship. But when you're in a marriage, if you want to be the provider, be the provider. Do what you got to do. And if a female has to be the provider, she has to be provider. I don't mind that either. I mean, my husband primarily was the provider in our relationship. But at some point when we were married like 25 years, my husband got sick. He got sick and he couldn't work. He had an aneurysm in his chest, right? So he couldn't work anymore. Okay. And for a year and a half, he couldn't get any kind of income. So I had to step up the plate and make sure our house did not suffer money-wise. So I was the sole provider for the house for about a year and a half until my husband could get Social Security, right? Because he was disabled. But he wasn't physically disabled. I mean, I guess he was physically disabled, but you couldn't tell by the way he walked around. He didn't look disabled. But I was the sole provider for a year and a half, for 2 years. And in between that time, I supplemented our income, but he was a 70-30 type, we did have a 70-30 type marriage. So women have to understand when it's time for you to step up, you have to step up and do what you got to do. So you can't just say, I'm not going to do 50-50. Sometimes it's 70-30, sometimes it's 60-40, but you have to contribute something in a relationship. Otherwise, why are you being taken care of and you're not using any of your money to make that whole house function? You need everybody's money to make it function. He made, like, for example, my husband gave me $1,000 a week. Okay. So that would be $4,000 a month, right? So he gave me $4,000 a month. And he said, no lights can go off, no rent not paid, no this, and that. All that stuff that $4,000 should cover the mortgage, cars, phone, rent, everything. And anything else, if the bills were more than $4,000, that was your share. You had to come up with that share, unless you just wasn't working. But I was working, so therefore I came up with whatever the extras were. Okay, so that's how we made our relationship work. He said, I'm giving you a set amount of money every week, and you work with that set amount of money. That should be enough. That we should never, a light shouldn't go off, car note shouldn't be paid, house note shouldn't be paid, any of those things.
And that's dope. Like I said, I definitely respect. That's dope. And I will say this: there's more than one way to skin the cat. Right. Like you said, we can sit here, Mr. Walker can say one thing, I can say something, it can all be different.
Right.
And it sounds cliche, but y'all been saying it. Find what works for you. Right. But know what works. Yep, you first got to know what works for you. Right. And then it all go hand in hand. But there is no one thing. I think a lot of times people are sitting back, watching a lot of these podcasts and whatnot, and they're waiting for this one eureka moment for somebody to say something that's going to ring true, and this glove is going to be able to fit everybody, and this is something for all of us, and this is the solution. And that's not the case. It's so many, because there's no sane human beings.
There you go. There you go. I like that's very well put. Like I love saying it. If I sat up here and gave you my anecdote the way I move through life, it's insane. It does not work for, like I said, 2 reasons. You got to have a particular man and a particular woman. You got to, like, it's so many different ways to properly skin this cat, man. It's a lot of factors. And to get granular with that, y'all have to sign up.
But it's a matter of both of us being invested. Both of us have to be invested. And I feel like if a man pays everything, she's not investing as much as he's investing. If she feels like she's contributing, he feels like she's contributing and not just taking his money, they'll both take the relationship seriously and both try to make it work if they're both invested. But the minute you say out of your mouth, "Oh, I'm going to pay for everything," I'm telling you right now, somebody's going to feel like they're being taken advantage of. Somebody is going to feel like they can take advantage every once in a while, right? So therefore, you make it equitable where just enough, we're going to do this together. You're going to be invested. I'm going to be invested. I'm not saying he turns around and says, "You're going to do 50-50 and I ain't paying no more than 50-50. There were times when I told my husband, "Hey, I'm only making X, Y, and Z and I need 1,200 instead of 1,000. And he gave me the 1,200 instead of 1,000. Or better still, he said, "Hey, babe, I was sick off work for 3 days, so I only got 700. Can you cover the rest of it?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I got it. Not a problem." See, so it's a matter of both of us being invested in this 50-50. When one person feels like they're paying everything, it's like they feel like they're being taken advantage of. That's why I don't like that provider. Unless you're married and that person is making buku amounts of money.
Says there is only 20% of good B-dubs. The other 80% are overweight or obese.
Just because she's overweight doesn't mean she's not a good woman. You can always befriend her and help her lose weight, and then she's the perfect person that you want.
Yeah, there's a guy. There is a guy. She don't want to start off with the guy that she's equally yoked for.
There you go.
Why can't you befriend? Why you can't befriend her? Befriend her and help her lose weight.
She don't want no friend. She don't want to be her equal when she big. But the guy that's gonna build her up look like her, and she don't want him. She want the guy that's already
look worse than her. He look worse than her.
I'm saying these women who don't have kids. You can help these women who don't have kids lose weight, and then she might be the perfect female for you. I'm just trying to figure out how we can get together.
And y'all can go on the side of the road. These men that's holding the sign saying broke, hungry, and traveling, get them up and make sure he ain't broke, hungry, and traveling because he had a house, he fed. All right, bring him home, clean him up.
Those are 3 things. Those are 3 negatives. Her fatness is 1 negative.
And it's one of the big
no, that's what it translates to. Trust me.
The weight is more than 1 negative because that's discipline. That's most likely bad hygiene. That's a bad attitude. Weight is like 5 flaws in 1. Shoot.
Man, here we go. I'm pulling my screen back up. We'll get back to these super chats. Check this out.
A man who has 50-50 principles with his wife will always be a provider for his mistress. This whole Cardi B and Offset 50-50 conversation just validated what I always thought, and why women should not be judged when they expect their husbands to provide financially. You see, no matter how much men argue that it's backwards for them to be the sole provider and stick with tradition, they never fail to bend over backwards and be that provider when it comes to cheating and providing for a woman who's not their wife. These men will convince you that you benefit from splitting bills with him, while you do 100% of the labor at home, because it's modern day feminism and it helps him. And he will use that 50% that he is saving from your hard work and spend it on a woman who's not putting a dime towards the dinner he takes her out to, fully funding the hotel rooms and vacations he goes on with her that he claims was a business trip or a boys trip, while he expects his wife to plan their vacations and pay for half of it. They'll take their side pieces shopping, ice them out, make them feel like they're with a masculine man. All the things these men know they should be doing for their wives. So whenever women feel so higher than thou when they say that they split the bills with their husband and that women are delusional for thinking that they should be provided for, always remember that a man always provides for the woman that he wants.
Here we go. Mr. Walker be hitting on this all the time. All y'all talk about is cheating. If he paid 50%, he gonna take that other 50 and spend it on another woman. It got to be another woman. He got to be cheating. They cheating. This is crazy, man. Oh.
Hell. Well, I don't believe that. I mean, I don't necessarily believe. I just believe when you make it easy for someone, they start to relax a little bit, and it becomes somebody who takes another person for granted instead
of fear. Fear is
Yeah.
talking. That can't be. We talking like that's a definite. See, that's the thing. Like we talking like, woman, if you are kind and feminine to your man, he's going to take advantage of you. We can't be spreading that because that's just not true. That's not true at all. That's fear for anyone to say. For anyone, we got to think about this. When we say these things, we got to act as if we're giving younger generations, our kids, this advice. I know daggone well, I know what's out here, and I have daughters. I'm not about to sit here, got a daughter due next month.
Right.
I'm not about to sit here and tell my daughter, to move in scarcity and lack. Like,
Right.
Just move and just be fear. Like, don't do this, don't do that. No, we need to equip these younger generation, like Gav keeps saying, equip the younger generation with this information so that they can move accordingly. We must accept the grim reality that it's over, as we say every Kendra show, every Kendra review show, that it's over. It's over for a lot of these sisters. They man's made up. Even Queen, you said it. They selfish. They don't care what they could do for the community. These sisters, they want to know what they can get out the deal. You said that with your own mouth. So I don't see how you can understand the whole concept of Zaddy moving in and taking the man out the house when these women only looking to see what they can get out the deal for themselves.
Yeah, but you men are moving in scarcity too. You're scared she's going to take advantage of your money. You're scared she's going to cheat on you. She's scared. These people these days are so scared that they don't even make a move, men and women. You know what? When I was married, I never worried about whether my husband cheated or where he went or whatever. I'm not saying that he didn't cheat. I'm not saying that he had an opportunity. He didn't have an opportunity. I'm not saying any of those things.
It wasn't your concern.
It wasn't a concern. Once I made a decision to be committed to this person, I assumed he would be committed too. And he never left my side. So I never looked at him when he was late from home saying, oh my God, he could be out there cheating. Oh my God, he's spending money here. I never looked at my husband and said that. I don't understand the mindset of these people here. Once you make the commitment and want to stay married and you want to make things work, things can work. But if you have that scarcity mindset where I got to worry about what's in his phone, I got to worry about why he didn't come home from work, I got to worry about this, that, then you feed into that fear that destroys the relationship. That's what I truly believe. I never looked at my husband and said, did he go see a girl? Did he see a woman today? Was he cheating today?
As you shouldn't.
Said that.
That's why you get respect up here, the Queen. You did right. That's why you was married and you stayed married.
Not that he didn't want to.
Well, there you go. Well, you don't. The fact that you don't know, that means he didn't. Yeah, see what I'm saying? That's driving on home. I never found out about nothing, so he didn't do it. Okay, you see what I'm saying?
I look at it. Yeah,
there you go.
Right.
But today's modern woman don't have that same mindset, and it comes from being insecure. Should no man or woman be worried about your spouse? You ain't doing something right. You lacking somewhere, and you projecting. Any woman's like, where you going? Why are you going out? That's because she is aware that she is not doing her job.
Right.
If a woman's sitting there, come on, sisters. If y'all like, I know I'm doing my job. I'm putting it on him. I'm looking good, smelling good, feeding him. I'm building him up. He would be a fool to do something crazy, to disrespect me in such a way or move in a disrespectful manner.
Right.
So that's the thing, women, and that's why we say being big is like 5 flaws. Because that big woman, she gonna ask you where you going every time. If you a decent looking guy, that big woman, she in your business. She's going through your phone. She's stealing your passwords, all that. So
it's a scarcity mindset that I just don't understand. It's like you're scared to move. That being married is a risk. We get it. We get all of that. But it's so much reward. It's so much reward that you have to take that chance to see if you can make that same reward happen in your life.
I agree.
People say, well, I can't be married for 30 years like you, Heathen Queen. Well, I can't do that. But that's not the goal. The goal is to be able to live contently with another human being and move forward in your life as you progress through this chaos that we have out here. And along the way, have some children. Along the way, have some laughs. Along the way, have some good times. Nobody's guaranteeing.
No, they want a permanent state of happiness.
Right.
All right.
Chronic
happiness.
I mean, there's many times where I looked at my husband, was like, damn, do I really want to, am I unhappy? Do I want a divorce? I don't want a divorce. How did this happen? How did we get to this point? There's several times in our relationship where I looked at it and said, would I be better off without this? Or do I need to stay the course, do what I got to do? And I decided I was going to stay, not because he had done anything wrong. It was because we came in, the relationship went in ebbs and flows. Here, at sometime it got low, and sometimes it was very high. Sometimes I was ecstatic to be married. Overall,
I think everybody comes to that crossroads as married people, and hence the divorce, right? So either some people, they choose which fork in the road, which way they're gonna go. But everybody comes to that decision, because you made a choice. You went from being single to married, right? You made a whole life decision. And then you're going to question, after you married for a while, you're going to question said life decision. And then you're going to come to that fork in the road,
Right. And then you decide whether you're going to stay or you're going to make it work. It's more of, we have this whole investment, this whole relationship that we have invested in. And I want to continue to be on the same road, the same investment with this human being. Barring this person being just a terrible human being, you have no reason to go anywhere unless this person is just a terrible human being that I'm getting beat, I'm getting psychologically challenged all the time. There's no reason to just walk out the door, just walk out the door. You have to reevaluate how mature you are as a person. Do I want to make this work? Is this working on all different levels? If it's not working on a less than a 50% level, maybe you have an opportunity to say, maybe I need to change some things. Do I need to change me? Have I gained too much weight and he's not paying attention to me? Have I done this and he's not paying attention? Am I keeping the house the way he wants it kept? Am I doing everything she wants me to do? Right? Self-reflect before you walk out the door. Right? And most of us come up lacking sometimes, but then they walk out the door. Instead of correcting yourself, you walk out the door. See, I auto-corrected. When I found that I needed to do this, and this, I auto-corrected. Okay, well, Heathen Queen, you had a baby, so you need to lose them 30 pounds. I lost 30 pounds. Bam. You Heathen Queen, you need to not say this or do that or do this. I'm not saying I did this. I'm just saying these are things that I had to self-reflect on and say, okay, I need to change that. I need to be more understanding as a wife. I need to understand that he's this, that, and the third. Okay. A lot of people don't want to understand somebody's issue as to why they got fired from a job, or why she gained 30 pounds, or why she's this. What's going on, hon? Before I kick him out, before you kick me out as a wife, we need to do some self-reflection on whether we can continue in this relationship. And that's how we have ebbs and flows. In a long-lasting relationship, you have ebbs and flows, right? But as long as everybody comes into that relationship with honesty, we being fit together, we doing things together, we have our interests, you have your interests. There's no reason for a person to walk out the door. And people
I tell you what, HQ, I don't know what you be doing at the every week. It's like the tale of two shows.
Every week.
It's true. I don't know if you try. You come into the show, you all razor blades and lemon juice, and by the end of the show, you up here making sense. You like it's like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. But you come in the show, you've been a detractor, you a whole hyena for the first 3 hours, and then in the snap of a finger, it's like you in a trance or something, and you snap out of it and start making a little sense.
She's an artist. No, Heathen Queen. Listen here. I love the art of argument and persuasion. I love the brain wrestle. No, Heathen Queen comes in. She do come in razor blades, lemon juice, and hand grenades in the beginning, and then she got some points to make. She used one of my texts just a little bit more. You got to agree. You got to push, give him pull, and that's how you get your point across. So yeah, Heathen Queen. She's an artist with it.
I mean, the whole point is we're trying to build families here, right?
Yes.
Build men up, make women do some correction, men do correction. That's what we're here for, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So therefore, at the end of the show, they got to take a message away. You know what I'm saying? You got to hear some good stuff. You got to hear some positive things. You know, and the only way I can be a testament to positive things is my story. Okay, amen. I can only do that. I can only do that in that particular way, right? And I get it. We all have issues. We all have problems. But at the end of the day, stop being scared. Stop being scared, because I guarantee you, if people make the jump from single to married, you're gonna have some happiness in that marriage. If you both commit to that marriage, you're gonna have some happiness in that marriage.
It's more. I like the term fulfillment. Yes. Women love happiness. But happiness is fleeting. Happiness ain't gonna get you through those hard times. What year? What is it? Year 5? What's that year of marriage? Year 5 it get wild. Year 5, 6, Heathen Queen.
Right.
It's somewhere around there where it can get a little tense.
But I love being married. I love being married.
I agree. But there's a lot of marriages fail. And I know me and my wife, we had to find like a common interest. I had to find a purpose and become more goal driven. And we had to find, a common interest. And that really helped build our bond outside of just taking care of the kids and physical intimacy. You got to have something else to talk about. And thank God we got into gardening and all that stuff. And we are pursuing a homestead lifestyle. We got chickens, all that. We country as hell. But having that common interest, really help build through the hard times. Because if all y'all doing is working, taking care of snot-nosed babies, it get monotonous and annoying. You know what I'm saying? But when y'all can connect on something other than raising the kids and just hunching, you can, I believe you have a better chance of success.